I walked into the cafe and immediately felt the hum of conversations scrape against my nerves. Tables were full, voices overlapping like a wave crashing in slow motion. And then I saw her. "Hey, look who decided to show up," she said, loud enough for 3 tables to turn. Her lips curved in that familiar, smug smile. Ryan, her new boyfriend, leaned back in his chair, smirking like he owned the world. I forced a smile. "Hi." "Wow, I almost didn't recognize you," she continued, louder this time, enough for a few people to chuckle. "Still wearing that same old jacket? Did you buy it in the last decade?" I swallowed the sting and shrugged. "I like it." Ryan laughed. "Man, she's got jokes. You actually wear that?" I kept my voice steady. "Apparently." She leaned forward, her eyes glinting. "I mean, it's cute how you try. But we all know you're still doing the same boring office job, right? Nothing exciting. Nothing worth talking about." A table of strangers laughed. I felt heat climb my neck, but I said nothing. I always believed silence could be louder than any argument. Ryan added, "Honestly, I don't know why she even bothers showing up here. Feels like pity more than anything." "Pity?" I said, calm but cold. "You sure about that?" Her laughter cut through me. "Oh, please. You were never more than background noise. And now, you're just sad wallpaper for our happiness." I wanted to tell her I'd changed. I wanted to shout that she had no idea who I was, what I had built. But the words stuck in my throat. Instead, I let the silence grow, like a wall between us that nobody could scale. "So, who's this guy?" she asked, pointing at Ryan. "Oh right, the new shiny thing I'm supposed to envy." Ryan waved at me. "Hey man." His grin was too confident, the kind that knows the punchline is on someone else. I nodded. "Hey." She laughed again. "See? You can't even manage a proper insult. That's so. You." I chuckled softly, almost inaudible. "Guess I've never been good at it." "You never had to be," she said, her eyes scanning the cafe like she was showing me off. "I mean, everyone remembers how pathetic you used to be. It's just funny how nothing's changed." I wanted to run my hands through my hair, but I didn't. I wanted to vanish into the crowd, but I stayed. I realized then that I was learning something important. Humiliation only has the power you give it. Ryan leaned closer to her, whispering something I didn't catch. She nodded, still smirking at me. "I hope you're doing okay with your little life," she said. "Not that anyone really cares. But hey, maybe one day you'll catch up, if you're lucky." I smiled faintly. "Thanks for your concern." Really. The cafe felt smaller with every word. I could hear the whispers of strangers wondering who I was, why I didn't fight back. I let them think I was nothing. That was my choice. She stood, grabbing her bag, her heels clicking against the floor. "Well, it's been cute seeing you like this. Bye, loser." "Bye," I said quietly, but my eyes followed her until she disappeared out the door. Ryan waved again, then left. I stayed seated, staring at my coffee, unmoved. Inside, something broke, something I didn't even know was still holding together. Trust, love, hope. They all felt like dust slipping through my fingers. And yet, I smiled. Not at her. Not at the laughter. I smiled at myself. I didn't plan revenge yet. I didn't even plan to fight. But I swore then, in that small cafe, that I would never beg for respect again. Not from her. Not from anyone. I stood, left my coffee untouched, and walked out into the cold air. The humiliation burned, yes, but it also sharpened something inside me. This was my before, and everything after would be mine to claim. I remember the first night we met like it happened yesterday. "You really like that old book?" she asked, peering over my shoulder. "I do," I said. "It's honest." She laughed softly. "Honest, huh? That's cute." "Cute." I frowned. "Yeah," she said, leaning closer. "It's refreshing. Most people just pretend to care." I smiled. "I guess I'm not most people." She nodded, eyes bright, and I felt that spark, the kind that makes the world quiet. We talked for hours after that, about nothing important, everything meaningful. I liked the way her voice filled the empty spaces in my life. Weeks passed, and we grew closer. "Why don't you post pictures of us?" she asked one evening, scrolling through her phone. I shrugged. "I don't like posting everything. Some things are private. Private. Or boring," she said, raising an eyebrow. "People like seeing love. You should let them know you're mine." "I like knowing it," I said quietly. "That's enough for me." "Enough," she laughed, shaking her head. "That's pathetic." I didn't argue. I just nodded. I told myself I was patient. I told myself love was quiet, not a performance. One night, she pulled me onto the balcony, lights of the city glowing beneath us. "Do you know why I like you?" she asked. "Why?" I said. "Because you're simple. You don't brag. You're like this safe little secret I can carry with me." I smiled softly. "Safe doesn't mean boring." She laughed. "To you maybe. To everyone else it does." I bit my lip, unsure if I should care what everyone else thought. Months in, I noticed her changing. Not at first, just small things. More attention to her phone, more selfies, more stories shared with friends. "You look amazing," I said one night as we walked through the park. She paused. "You think so? Let me post it. People need to see this." "Do they?" I asked. "Of course," she said. "They need to see what I have. You don't understand." I stayed silent. I wanted peace more than applause. I wanted her to smile at me without needing anyone else's approval. Arguments started to feel like rehearsals. "Why didn't you get the new jacket I suggested?" she asked, frowning. "I like this one," I said. "It's old. People will notice." "You don't want them laughing at me, do you?" I opened my mouth to argue but closed it. "See? You don't get it," she said, turning away. I walked behind her quietly, saying nothing. At night, I'd replay every moment, wondering when we stopped being just us and started being an audience. "You're distant," she said one evening, curling on the couch. "I'm not," I whispered. "I'm thinking." "Thinking," she scoffed. "About what?" "How to be boring again." I didn't answer. I couldn't. I remember one night, rain beating against the window, her phone lighting her face as she scrolled. "Why don't you post anything about us?" she asked, voice almost soft. "Because I don't need to," I said. "Not need to," she said. "You mean, you don't want anyone to see me with you. You don't want attention. You don't want love to be loud." I nodded. "I want it to be real." "Real doesn't get applause," she said. "I need applause." I stayed silent again. I wanted to shout that I loved her, that quiet was louder than photos and likes. But I didn't. Looking back now, I see the truth clearly. She didn't fall out of love. She climbed out of it, step by step, post by post, selfie by selfie. And I stayed behind, clinging to the version of us that was never meant to exist for the world. I didn't lose her. I outgrew the version of myself she could control. I used to blame myself for staying quiet, for not giving her what she wanted. But now I understand. I gave her loyalty, not applause. I gave her presence, not a performance. I chose stability. She chose attention. And that was the moment I stopped trying to compete with her applause. I shut the door behind me and sank into the couch. Silence greeted me like an old friend. No laughter, no comments, no reminders of what I had lost. Just me, the hum of the city outside, and the soft glow of my laptop. A notification blinked. I opened it. Her circle, laughing at me online. Comments about my clothes, my car, my small life. I scrolled without a word. The sting wasn't what I expected. I didn't feel anger. I didn't even feel hurt. I felt clarity. "Still funny, aren't you?" I muttered to the empty room. I opened my bank accounts. Numbers appeared like stars. Big, quiet, undeniable. No one would believe this belonged to me. Most people would assume it came from family, luck, or some hidden connection. But I built this. Every account, every investment, every deal, it was mine. I remembered my mentor, Daniel, his voice calm but sharp. "Show success too early, and people love your money, not you," he had said once, leaning on the balcony, cigarette smoke curling between us. I smiled faintly. "You were right, Daniel." "Am I?" he asked, half grinning. "Yes," I said. "I hid it. I still hide it. Not because I need to prove anything to her, or anyone, but because if they saw too soon, it would never be about me again." He had chuckled. "Money changes faces. Always has. Protect yourself, not your pride." I leaned back, feeling the weight of years spent building quietly, alone. Every late night, every failure, every gamble no one knew about, it all added up to this. I didn't hide my life to deceive anyone. I hid it to survive. My phone buzzed again. Another message, another jab from someone who thought they knew me. I let it sit unread. Their amusement was theirs. My world didn't depend on it. I whispered to myself, "They have no idea." A memory floated in, the day I signed my first big deal. Daniel had been there. "You see this?" he asked, pointing at the contract. "One step. One quiet step. You'll look back and thank yourself for patience." "I hope so," I said, unsure if I'd ever see the reward. "Don't hope. Trust the process," he said, lighting another cigarette. I had trusted. I had waited. I had built. And now, sitting here, her laughter echoing online, I felt the difference between applause and substance. The world applauded ignorance. I applauded quiet wins. My phone lit up with another message from her, short, teasing, asking if I was really doing anything worthwhile. I didn't respond. Instead, I whispered, "Worthwhile is knowing who you are, not who they want you to be." I opened my trading platform. Numbers danced on the screen, growing, shrinking, real and alive. Each transaction a reminder that I could rely on no one but myself. Each profit a silent victory, unseen by anyone who wanted me small. Daniel had warned me about pride. "Pride is loud. Money is louder," he said. I thought about that, letting the silence of my accounts and achievements fill the room. I didn't feel pride in the way most people did. I felt calm, focused, in control. That control had been mine all along, even when she mocked me. Even when I sat quietly, listening to her applause for someone else. I closed my laptop and stared at the ceiling. I didn't need to prove anything. Not to her, not to Ryan, not to anyone who thought I was small. My life wasn't a performance. My victories weren't for display. They were mine. I whispered again, softly, almost to myself, "Let them laugh. I'll keep building." The city hummed outside. The notifications stopped. The numbers waited patiently on the screen. And for the first time in a long time, I felt something simple and rare. Peace. Not victory. Not revenge. Not applause. Just peace. I stood, stretched, and walked to the window. Rain had started, tapping lightly against the glass. I let it wash over me, feeling that clarity settle in. No one would ever see the life I'd made until I chose to show it. And when that time came, it would be on my terms. I stopped replying. I stopped explaining. I stopped being the person everyone expected me to be. I became invisible in their world. "Have you heard from him?" one of her friends asked during brunch. "I don't think so," she said, flipping her hair. "I don't care." I smiled faintly at the memory. Let them think I vanished. Let them fill the silence with assumptions. A mutual contact called me once. I saw them yesterday. She's happy, I guess. And Ryan's loud as ever. Loud? I asked, feigning interest. "Yeah," the contact said, chuckling. "He spends like crazy. I mean, he tries to be impressive, but it's kind of pathetic." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. That was enough. The cracks were forming. I could see them from miles away. Later, she posted pictures online. Smiles, luxury, champagne. Everyone clapped, commented, fawned. I watched quietly, sipping my coffee in the cafe she once mocked me in. "Looks like she's doing well," the barista said. Does it? I asked softly, not looking at her. Well, I mean, people like it, she said. I nodded. They like appearances. That's all it is. Ryan tagged along in every shot. Expensive watches, rented cars, fancy dinners. But I noticed the tension behind his grin. The way he glanced at her phone like he was checking for attention. Do you think he's happy? I asked my reflection in the window. Reflection didn't answer. People love to show off, I said aloud, even if no one heard. They love pretending. I heard from another contact. She's asking about you. Weird, right? I chuckled softly. Weird how? They say she wonders if you're moving on. I whispered. Moving on isn't about her. Every message, every rumor, felt like a gentle tug. I could intervene. I could remind her who I was. But I didn't. Not once. I just watched. Quietly. From the shadows. She's getting stressed, the contact added. Ryan's money isn't real. Some of it's borrowed, some of it's fake. She's not handling it well. I leaned back, letting that sink in. Karma. Maybe. Or maybe people destroy themselves when they chase the wrong things. I let them have their lessons. I didn't need to teach them. Another post. A new outfit. A new location. I scrolled past, noting the tension in the pictures she didn't notice. A forced smile, a hand gripping Ryan's arm too tightly. Looks perfect, I muttered. Perfectly fake. I walked through my own quiet apartment later, keys in hand. No one was waiting. No one was judging. Only me, and the soft hum of the city. I opened my laptop. Numbers climbed steadily. Investments growing. Deals closing. My life wasn't loud. It didn't need applause. But every quiet win felt heavier than their loud losses. A friend called. Are you okay though? Watching them like this. I'm fine, I said. Better than fine. You're detached, he said. Detachment isn't emptiness, I replied. It's control. I thought about her, about Ryan, about all the attention she craved. I remembered how she once laughed at my quiet life. And I smiled faintly, letting the power of silence wash over me. I didn't need to strike back. I didn't need to intervene. I didn't need to prove a thing. They'll figure it out, I whispered to the room. Figure what out? I asked myself, pacing. That appearances aren't everything. That chasing something fake destroys more than it builds. I stopped at the window, staring at the street below. People moved fast, loud, oblivious. I realized something then. My victories didn't need to be seen to exist. My life didn't need approval. I didn't need applause. I was finally free from needing it. She's asking too much from the wrong people, I muttered. And Ryan? I asked the silence. Cracks everywhere, I answered. Just like I thought. I leaned back, closing my eyes. The quiet filled me. No anger. No jealousy. Only observation. Only clarity. Only the satisfaction of knowing I was building something real while they stumbled in their own illusions. I didn't laugh. I didn't gloat. I just let it happen, like watching a storm form across a distant horizon. It was beautiful, in its own way. And for the first time, I realized that power doesn't always need cruelty. Sometimes, power is just standing still while everyone else falls. I stepped into the ballroom and immediately felt the difference. The lights, the chatter, the clinking of glasses, it wasn't intimidating. It was familiar, in a way I hadn't expected. Do you know who's here tonight? My assistant whispered. I'll find out soon enough, I said, scanning the crowd. People parted as I walked. Not because they recognized me, but because the confidence I carried demanded it. Look, over there, my assistant said quietly. She's here. I saw her immediately. She was laughing, surrounded by friends, Ryan by her side, like a trophy on display. And then she saw me. Her smile faltered. Just for a second. Enough for me to notice. Do you know him? Someone asked near me. I work with him, Sophia said calmly. Her presence was steady, like a lighthouse in chaos. He's been leading the latest project. The one everyone's talking about. Really? I said softly. He looks familiar. Sophia smiled. Not surprising. He keeps a low profile outside the office. I nodded. I've learned that's safer. I overheard whispers as I moved toward the center. Is that him? Yeah. The guy she used to mock. He's rich. Big deals. Nobody saw it coming. I didn't answer. I just let it sink in, the satisfaction of invisibility turning into influence. I didn't need to prove a point. My presence alone spoke. From across the room, she was staring. Her eyes widened slightly, scanning me from head to toe. I kept my expression neutral. Calm. Unshaken. You're early, Sophia said, standing next to me. They'll be arriving soon. I like seeing it before it starts, I replied. Less chaos that way. Sophia nodded. Good strategy. I caught her looking at me again. Ryan leaned in, whispering something. She smiled nervously. That smile didn't reach her eyes. She's uncomfortable, Sophia murmured. I chuckled softly. That's one way to put it. Someone approached me, shaking my hand vigorously. I've heard so much about you. Your work on the Meridian project, impressive. Thank you, I said, letting my calm tone do the rest. Another person joined the conversation. We should talk strategy sometime. Your approach is unique. I nodded. I'd like that. Through all of this, I didn't look at her. I didn't need to. I let the awareness of my success sink into the room naturally. Eyes on me, curiosity thick in the air. She could see it without a word. A waiter offered champagne. I accepted. To quiet victories, I said softly, more to myself than anyone else. Sophia smirked slightly. Fitting. I moved toward a group discussing investments. People leaned in when I spoke, genuinely interested. My words carried weight because they were backed by results, not noise. She's noticing, Sophia said quietly. I glanced toward her once. Ryan was talking too fast, gesturing wildly, trying to match my composure. She looked between us, eyes flicking back to me, unable to reconcile the man she thought she knew with the one in front of her. She doesn't know what to say, I whispered. Exactly, Sophia said. You let the truth do the work. I smiled faintly. Dignity hits harder than revenge. Another colleague approached. We need to set up a meeting next week. You're exactly what we've been missing in our expansion plan. Happy to help, I said. I caught her looking again. This time, she didn't smile. The laughter, the confidence, the easy charm she had displayed for months, gone. All that remained was realization. I leaned slightly toward Sophia. Do we mingle or observe? Observe, she said calmly. Your presence is already making the point. I nodded. I didn't need to approach her. I didn't need to speak to Ryan. The truth was already reaching her without words. Impressive, Sophia said softly. They didn't see this coming. No, they didn't, I said. And that's the difference. I sipped my champagne, letting the taste settle. The room buzzed, but I felt detached, like I was watching a scene unfold from the perfect distance. My success didn't shout. It didn't need applause. It simply existed, and everyone else's attention followed naturally. I caught her eyes one last time. The frozen smile, the slight hesitation, the shock, they were all there. I didn't gloat. I didn't smirk. I just let it be. Dignity had done its work. And that was enough. My phone buzzed late one evening. A message from her. I stared at it for a long time before opening it. I need to talk. Can we meet? I didn't respond. Not immediately. Hours passed. Then another. I was wrong. I didn't know. I was hurt too. I sat back in my chair, staring at the screen. I could feel the tremor behind her carefully chosen words. Apology mixed with fear. Desire mixed with regret. I'll meet you, I typed finally. Short. Neutral. Enough to arrange it. When I arrived at the small cafe she suggested, She was already there. Hands twisting the strap of her bag, eyes fixed on the floor. The air felt thick with tension. "Hi," she whispered, barely looking at me. "Hi," I said, keeping my tone even. She lifted her eyes, wet and unsure. I'm so sorry. For everything. For mocking you." I asked softly. "Yes, for that. For leaving when you were just you." Her voice broke. "I didn't see it. I was selfish." "I understand," I said. "You do?" she asked, voice trembling. "You really do?" "I understand what it was," I replied. "Not why. Not what it did. Just that it happened." She leaned forward, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I didn't know how much I hurt you. I didn't know what I was doing." I stayed silent. I wanted to say something that would make her feel the full weight of her absence, but I didn't. I realized she wasn't missing me. She was missing access, attention, admiration, control. I thought I could. "I don't know, have it all," she said, voice shaking. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't see." "You didn't see," I echoed softly. "I left too soon. I laughed at you. She stopped, choking back sobs. "I can't take it back." I nodded. "No, you can't." She reached out, hand hovering above mine. "I know I don't deserve it, but can you forgive me?" I let my hand rest on the table, close to hers but not touching. "I forgive you," I said quietly. "But forgiveness doesn't mean taking the past back. It means letting it go." Her lips trembled. "So, you won't come back?" "I won't," I said firmly. "Not because I don't care. Not because I don't remember. Because I've changed. We've both changed." She nodded slowly, tears falling freely now. "I thought I missed you," she admitted. "But I just missed what I had with you. The comfort, the stability, the quiet. And that's not love," I said softly. "That's nostalgia. That's longing for something convenient, not real." "I didn't know what real was," she whispered. "I only knew what I wanted." I looked at her, really looked. I could see the desperation, the regret, the ache of losing something she never fully understood. It hurt more than her betrayal. More than the mocking, more than the laughter. Because I had loved her quietly, fully, without condition. She had loved something else. "I'm sorry," she said again, voice small, fragile. "I wish I could fix it." I shook my head. "Some things can't be fixed. Only learned from. Only understood." I thought I wanted to see you succeed, but she trailed off, trembling. "You thought you wanted to see me succeed only when it benefited you," I said calmly. "That's the truth. And that's okay. I forgive it. I forgive you. But I don't need it." She looked down, shivering. "And me?" "You need to forgive yourself," I said softly. "Stop chasing what you never understood. Stop wishing for what never belonged to you." She nodded. I'll try." We sat in silence for a moment, the quiet hum of the cafe around us. I didn't reach for her hand. I didn't try to comfort her. I had no anger left, only clarity. "I wish you well," I said finally. "Truly." "Thank you," she whispered. I stood. "Take care of yourself. That's the only apology that matters now, yours to yourself." She watched me leave, silent, tears streaking her face. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Forgiveness had been given. Closure had been claimed. The door was shut, but it wasn't bitterness that closed it. It was understanding, maturity, and finally, the quiet power of moving on. I heard it first from an old contact, someone who had worked with Ryan. "Did you know about Ryan's situation?" the voice asked over the phone. "I didn't," I said calmly. "He's in trouble. Serious trouble. Debts, failed deals, some of it borderline illegal. And she," the voice trailed. "She what?" I asked, steady. "She's losing friends. Status. People are walking away fast." I didn't smile. I didn't laugh. I just nodded to myself. I see. See? The contact asked, confused. Closure, I said. That's all. Another friend messaged me later. You hear about them? Looks bad. Really bad. I typed back slowly. I know. I didn't ask for details. I didn't want stories. I didn't want proof. The truth had a way of showing itself in time. She's asking about him, the friend added. Says she can't believe it. Wants advice. Let her figure it out, I replied. I stopped checking her posts. Stopped asking mutual contacts for updates. I didn't need to witness her chaos. I didn't need confirmation of what was happening. I poured coffee and sat by the window, watching the rain. The city moved on below me, loud and unbothered. And I realized something. Watching someone fall doesn't make me powerful. Walking away without bitterness does. A notification pinged. Someone forwarded an article. Ryan's name in bold letters. Investigation ongoing. Multiple defaults reported. I scrolled just enough to see it. And then I put the phone down. Quietly. Calmly. No gloating. No schadenfreude. Just acceptance. Later, I ran into Sophia. You okay? She asked, noticing my neutral expression. I am, I said. I finally am. You don't even look relieved. Relief isn't loud, I said. It's quiet. Invisible. Unseen. But real. She nodded. You've changed. I had to, I said softly. I realized anger is heavy. Holding on to it doesn't change anything. Letting go. That's what matters. Weeks passed. I didn't check the news. I didn't ask about them. Occasionally, rumors floated through mutual contacts. Quick whispers, partial truths, but I ignored them. I had stopped living in their stories. One day, I caught sight of her at an event. She looked smaller, subdued. Ryan wasn't there. She waved at someone else. I didn't wave back. Didn't acknowledge. Didn't need to. She seems lost, Sophia whispered beside me. She is, I said. And that's not my concern anymore. I walked away. Not in anger. Not in triumph. Just walking. Moving forward. At home, I opened my laptop. New projects. New contacts. Quiet victories stacking up, one by one. I realized I had been waiting to feel something dramatic, some spark of satisfaction at seeing them falter. But all I felt was release. Freedom from obsession, from resentment, from the past. Do you ever miss it? Sophia asked one evening, leaning against the doorway. Miss what? I said, keeping my focus on the screen. The chase. The drama. I smiled faintly. I don't. It's exhausting. And pointless. What matters isn't who falls, it's who stands after. Sophia nodded. You stand well. I stand quietly, I said. And that's enough. Even hearing about Ryan's downfall through whispers didn't tempt me to check further. I didn't want the details. I didn't want the gory parts. I had learned that closure doesn't come from watching others fail. It comes from letting go of the need to control or witness it. Messages from her stopped completely. I didn't notice immediately. I didn't care. And that surprised me. I realized then that anger had died. Completely. No embers left. Only space for clarity, focus, and growth. The weight I carried for months, the humiliation, betrayal, longing, it was gone. I leaned back in my chair and exhaled. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel the pull of their lives. I didn't wonder what she was doing. I didn't imagine Ryan scheming. I wasn't waiting for karma. I was present. I was here. I whispered to the empty room, I'm free. It felt true. Authentic. Heavy in its quiet, lighter than any revenge could ever feel. The city moved below me, oblivious, as it always does. And I moved with it, not chasing someone else's mistakes, not seeking approval, not longing for past moments. I had my life back. My attention. My energy. My dignity intact. And that was enough. I woke early that morning, sunlight slipping through the blinds. The city hummed quietly outside, and for once, I didn't feel pressure. No one's expectations, no one's judgment, just me. "Sophia," I said later as she arrived at my apartment, "thanks for coming." "Of course," she replied, settling on the couch. "You've been quiet lately. I thought you might need company." "I do," I said. "But it's different now. I'm not running from anything, not from them, not from the past." "Good," she smiled. "It suits you." I had spent months building more than accounts and investments. I built routine, focus, and health. My mornings were spent jogging along the river, drinking coffee while reviewing goals, reading books that mattered. Money didn't shield me anymore. It was just a tool to make life smoother, not a weapon or a secret. "I never understood how much you invested in yourself," Sophia said, glancing around. "You're different. Complete." "I think I finally get it," I said. "Success isn't numbers or applause. It's balance, peace, control over who you let into your life and who you don't." "You're sharing it differently now," she said. "Yes," I said, smiling faintly. "I help quietly. I love carefully. I don't announce it. But I don't hide it either. I just exist." She tilted her head. "Existence is powerful." "I've stopped looking for validation," I said. "From anyone. From her. From Ryan. From anyone who couldn't see me when I mattered most." Sophia's gaze softened. "And that's why you're solid now. You don't sway with others' opinions." I nodded. "Exactly. I invested in myself, emotionally as much as financially. I made peace with the past, with the humiliation, with the betrayal. I stopped reacting and started becoming. I stopped chasing and started living." "You're proud," she said gently. "I am," I admitted. "Not in the way I wanted them to notice. I'm proud for me. Quietly. Without needing applause. Without needing revenge." She smiled. "I like seeing that side of you. The real side." "I'm choosing who I let in now," I said. "And I choose carefully. I don't need everyone to like me. I don't even need everyone to know me. But the right people, those are the ones who matter." "And you found them?" she asked softly. "I have," I said. "And you're one of them." She chuckled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Flattery will get you everywhere." "I don't flatter," I said. "I speak truth. People who matter see it. Those who don't. And that's fine." I leaned back, stretching. "I don't check updates about her anymore. I don't wonder what Ryan is doing. Their stories don't affect me. I've stopped measuring my life against their mistakes or their success. I've built mine. Solid. Quiet. Enough." "You're free," she said. "I am," I repeated, smiling softly. "And freedom feels heavier than revenge. Stronger than proving anything. Deeper than applause. It's peaceful." Sophia nodded. "I can see it. You're alive in a different way now." "I invest in my health," I said. "My mind, my body, my soul. I work with people who respect me. I love people who matter. I don't chase anyone who can't see me. And I don't hide who I am. I don't need to." "You've transformed," she said. "Not just in success, but in how you feel about yourself." "That's it," I said. "That's the real change. Money never gave me this. Silence never gave me this. Pain, patience, self-respect, they did. And now I finally understand. My worth isn't defined by anyone else's approval." She smiled warmly. "I'm glad you finally see it for yourself." "I do," I said. "And it's liberating. I don't look back with bitterness. I don't linger on regret. I don't even care if they notice. I care about being present, being strong, being me." She reached across, touching my hand gently. "And that's why you're happy. Because this time, you chose yourself." "Yes," I said, squeezing her hand lightly. "And I always will." For the first time in years, I felt the weight of past humiliation lift entirely. I didn't need her attention, Ryan's wealth, or anyone else's recognition. I had me. my focus, my life, my dignity intact. And for the first time, it felt completely enough. I saw her first across the park. Autumn leaves drifted around, orange and gold, but nothing caught my attention until I noticed her. She was alone, sitting on a bench, scrolling on her phone. Smaller somehow. Not in wealth or style, she still looked put together, but quieter. Less sure of the world, I thought. I hesitated, but curiosity didn't feel like longing anymore. I walked over slowly. "Hey," I said. She looked up, startled, then relaxed into a soft smile. "Hi." We didn't sit immediately. Just stood there, the wind stirring around us, letting the moment stretch. "You look different," she said finally. "So do you," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. "Calmer, quieter. That suits you." She laughed softly, almost shyly. "I've changed a bit." "I can see that," I said. There was a pause. I didn't fill it with words, didn't feel the urge. Months of distance had taught me that silence often said more than conversation. "Were you ever angry at me?" she asked finally, eyes searching mine. I took a breath. "Yes," I admitted. "I was very angry. At the lies, the laughter, the betrayal. At watching you chase things that didn't matter while ignoring what did. But," I paused, letting the words sink. "I learned something. Anger keeps you tied to the past. It keeps you small. It never helped me move forward." She looked down, twisting her hands in her lap. "I didn't know." Don't," I interrupted softly. "Don't explain. Don't justify. I know who you were. I know what you did. But holding on to it won't change anything. I let it go." She nodded slowly, absorbing my words. I wish I could tell you I understood back then." "You don't need to," I said. "We learn from what we were, not what we wish we were." We walked together for a few minutes, side by side, saying nothing, just letting the city move around us. Children laughed, dogs ran through leaves, cars passed by. Life continued. "Do you," she started, hesitating, "ever think about what we had?" I looked at her, really looked, and smiled faintly. "I do. But I don't wish it back. I don't miss you. I don't even miss us. I miss a version of me who didn't see clearly, who allowed himself to be small for someone else's attention. That version doesn't exist anymore." Her eyes widened slightly, and she blinked away a tear. "You've really changed." "I had to," I said. "For me. Not for revenge, not for her, not for anyone else. I chose myself. And in doing that, everything else, the anger, the humiliation, the longing, they fell away. Quietly, completely." She exhaled slowly. "I wish I could do the same." "You can," I said softly. "It's not about erasing the past. It's about learning from it. About not letting it define you. About choosing who you let control your emotions and energy." She nodded, looking down again. I understand, even if it's late." "That's enough," I said. "It doesn't matter if it's late. It only matters that you start. Just remember, peace comes from release, not retaliation. From self-respect, not dependency. From growing into the person you were meant to be." We stopped walking. She looked at me, her eyes hesitant. "Do you forgive me?" "I do," I said. "But forgiveness doesn't mean taking anyone back into your life. It means letting go and moving forward without bitterness. That's all." A gust of wind scattered leaves at our feet. I watched them twirl, caught in currents, moving freely. I realized that was what we both needed. Freedom. To exist in the present without clinging to past mistakes. I just wanted you to know that," she said. "I'm sorry. For everything." "I know," I said. "And I mean it when I say I wish you well. Truly. No hidden meaning. No expectation. Just well wishes." She gave a small, fragile smile, standing straighter. "Thank you. I hope you're happy." "I am," I said, meeting her gaze. "I finally am." We lingered for a few more moments, neither needing to fill the space with noise. Then I nodded gently. I should go, I said. She nodded. Yeah, me too. We turned and walked in opposite directions, leaving the park behind. Leaves swirled around us, caught in the wind, carrying the last fragments of old stories with them. As I walked away, I realized something quietly profound. This was victory. Not revenge. Not wealth. Not status. Not even proving her wrong. Peace. Freedom. Self-respect. The man she mocked, the one who endured humiliation silently, didn't exist anymore. He had been replaced by someone stronger, calmer, complete. And that was enough. No pride. No gloating. No lingering thought of her choices or Ryan's downfall. Just me. Fully present. Fully myself. Finally, wholly free.